part of our general practice, we have a circle called Yoga and Life Talk with Laura. So join in there. That's how we stay in touch with each other. Just provide ourselves, each other support, and just get to know each other. So please join in if you haven't yet. Alrighty. Hey Mags. Sally got the party started. Thank you for your donation, Sally. Um, Donations benefit my nonprofit organization, which is called Discovering My Purpose. And it's a positive psychology program that benefits vulnerable teens. And we provide it for free. So donations from people such as yourselves is what makes it possible. So thank you, thank you, thank you for your support. So this is class 4 of the Manipura Chakra, which is Chakra 3. Shui Lin. I love Cape Town, as Shui Lin knows very, very well. And that's good. So Shui Lin's in Cape Town in winter. So Shui Lin, we're going to help heat you up. We're going to heat you up. So the Manipura Chakra, the third chakra, it means seat of jewels. And this is the engine that makes our lives go. And as we've been working our way through our chakras, so we've been doing this practice now for 3 weeks or so, we've also been talking about the shadow side. And you might remember that the shadow side of the first chakra was fear. The shadow side of the second chakra was trauma. The shadow side of the third chakra is blame. Okay, this is where we, just kind of get angry with life, and we're just, it's anger and blame. We possibly lash out, and we blame others for things not being right in our lives, or blame ourselves. We just blame. We just scatter it about. So, hello, Melissa from Sag Harbor. Elena, good to see you. So, um, our intention for this practice, with this Manipura practice, is we're going to look into how we give our power away. Okay, and it's an interesting conversation that we have with ourselves, isn't it? And that's where Goldie, thank you for your donation. Um, and that's where we're really going to spend our time today. How do you give your power away? How do you undermine your success? And tomorrow's practice, which is going to be the final of Manipura Chakra, is when we're going to really plug into our power, and we're going to envision ourselves powerful and strong, and what that life looks like, what that life feels like. That's tomorrow. But today, we're going to explore how we give our power away. And I'm going to talk about the way that I typically give it away is being a victim. That's my way. So I'm going to talk about that, but I want you to explore, what your habits look like, because very often we can be our own worst enemies. So taking a nice easy seat. Okay, I'm sitting on a roller, so if I don't fall off this roller, it's gonna be a miracle. So sitting on a block or a cushion, whatever makes you comfortable. It's gonna be on the knees. Shoulders are down the back. Close the eyes. Go inside. And just give yourself permission to be real. Give yourself permission to just look at your life with kind, compassionate eyes, but clear eyes. Eyes that see inside to what motivates you, what moves you, how you respond and react to life. And if you don't get answers, as I always say to you, that means that you're so incredibly normal. And just plant the seed and know that maybe you'll get a flash of intuition, while you're showering, or while, right when you wake up tomorrow morning, or whenever. It might take time, and that's fine. Just let the mind relax and just explore, what is my relationship to power? How might I give my power away? That's the question for this practice. So with the hands on the knees, the eyes still closed, we're going to do a Bhastrika breath. Pranayam. And the way that we do Bhastrika is we inhale, mouth is closed, inhale through the nose. And then we exhale in 7 parts. And if you'd like, you can take your Surya Mudra. We did Surya Mudra yesterday. That's when we bring the ring finger down and we cover it with the thumb. Surya meaning sun. Surya Mudra. Okay. And nice big inhale. Get my iPad so I can keep an eye on comments from my mat. Backs of the hands are on the knees. Take a nice smooth inhale through the nose. And then we exhale in 7 parts. And we're pumping the navel in. Now, if you're pregnant, if you have high blood pressure, if you have glaucoma, just take, an easy breath in and out, just allowing yourself to still explore this sense of power and how we might give our power away. But if you don't have any contraindications, we're inhaling. And then it's exhale, 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 exhale 7 times. We're not inhaling between our breaths. It's like one big inhale, and then we slice our exhale into 7 parts. And we're pumping the belly, strengthening the belly, strengthening Manipura, as if we have a sun in the belly. So inhale. So it's like 7 middle breaths of fire, Kapalabhati, but this is called Bhastrika. And it's always helpful when we're working with breath of fire to possibly have some Kleenex nearby. I also like to, if you're like me and your throat might start feeling itchy as you're doing this, go ahead and continue inhaling and then 7 parts exhaling. So if you're like me and your throat starts getting itchy, you might cough and drink water. Do it again, cough and drink water. That's totally normal. And it'll smooth out as you go. Don't give up. Inhale. 7-part exhale. Exhale, 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 exhale. Okay, 7 parts. Inhale. One more. We're lighting up Manipura. We're waking up the solar plexus. And then release. Easy breath. And just allow the shoulders to relax. Eyes are closed. Roll them up and in Sambhava Mudra. As if you're looking at the third eye. And asking yourself again, how do I give away my power? What does it look like? How do I undermine myself? Is it that I play the role of the victim? Is it that I'm fearful of stepping forward so I can shine? What does it look like? Another breath. And then the right thumb comes onto the right nostril. And we're going to do Nadi Shodhana with breath of fire. Okay? So the thumb comes onto the nostril. Middle index finger and the middle finger come onto the third eye. You can close your eyes. So you're going to inhale through the left as a powerful breath of fire, and then we exhale through the right. So it's going back and forth. So you're closing the left, inhale through the left, exhale through the right, inhale through the left, exhale through the right. Okay, tissues are ready. Exactly, Christine. I know it's very. There can be a fine mist that comes out of your nose. It's all good. It's all good. It's cleansing. So it's, and as you set the rhythm, You might go faster. When I started doing this, I had a very hard time coordinating myself. So slow it down if you're like me. Slow it down, okay? We inhale through the left, exhale through the right. Inhale through the left, exhale through the right. And it's a Kapalabhati breath. It's a powerful, like you're bringing your belly in. Bring that belly in on the exhale. Eyes can be closed and rolled up and in. Another few breaths. And then we release and breathe normally. And sneeze if you need to. It's gone. Okay. Another breath. And then, of course, we switch. Okay. So now we're going to inhale through the left and exhale through the right. Inhale through the left, exhale through the right. And remember, it's a pump. It's a pump. It's a Kapalabhati pump as you're exhaling. Passive inhale. Okay. Oh man, I really need tissues. So keep going. Keep going. Another few breaths. Right? Another few breaths. Inhale to the left, exhale through the right. And release. And close the eyes. Roll the eyes up and in. This is such an interesting hybrid, isn't it? Breath of fire combined with Nadi Shodhana. And ask yourself again, how do I get rid of my power? How do I give away my power? How do I undermine myself? And of course, I've got stories to share. So as you're ready, coming up onto your mat, turn your toes out. We're going to do a few rounds of warrior breath, okay? Because we really want to feel ourselves embracing our power, welcoming our power. So the toes are out, the heels are in. We sit down into this is kind of like a horse, right? All right. And we're going to do this inhale. So 2-part inhale, and then we're going to bring the elbows in, and we're going to tighten, tense every single muscle in the body. Hold it. And then we straighten the legs, and we exhale, and we feel into the body. So when we come down, we inhale, right? Inhale. And we hold it tight. Feel it strong. And then we exhale and straighten the legs. So feeling how you are claiming your power, right? Claim the power. Inhale. Draw it in. Light up. Manipura. Tight. Hold on. And then we straighten the legs. Exhale. Let's do 3 more rounds. Exhaling through the mouth can feel good, or you exhale through the nose, whichever speaks to you. But we're inhaling through the nose. Inhale. Elbows in. Tighten the body. Feel it. Strong. Straighten the legs. Exhale. 2 more. Last one. Excellent. Coming to the head of the mat. Standing here, feeling your feet rooted down, taking up a stance where you're like, I am here, I am strong, I am present. Another breath. And then inhaling your arms up overhead. I'm under the eaves, so I'm a little bit compromised here. Stretch up, feel yourself reach up, and exhale, dive down. Head hangs heavy. So, as I've shared with you, there's a whole bunch of different ways that we give away our power. And the way that I typically give away my power is I fall into the role of the victim. Inhale, arch up halfway, flat back. And exhale, release down. And step that right leg back. And I've got an example that happened about 48 hours ago. Hands frame the foot. Pour energy down that leg. Out the heel. So I was on the phone with Dan, my husband, and dropped the knee down. And we were talking about something. I don't remember what it was. And he got a little snappy with me. A little snappy. And I was like, oi, hey, don't get snappy with me. And he's currently at his mom's right now. Just allow those hips to release down, to relax down, and then set the hips back. Toes stay down on the left, folding over the leg, and inhale forward. And Dan loves his mother to death. Loves her, but she can push his buttons, right? Now that's just the way it seems to be with moms. We have an ability to push our children's buttons, and our mothers have an ability to push ours. So he says to me, he says, oh, you don't know the week that I've had. You don't know the week that I've had. That was his response to being snippy with me. Fold over that leg, toes stay down. And then roll the heel. So you just kind of roll into the back of the leg. Toes are up. Flexing foot. Breathe into those hamstrings. And just like a fish seeing a big juicy worm, I rise to the bait. Rise to the bait. Curl the back toes under, put my hand down. And I was, immediately like, what? I'm at my mother's and I'm cleaning out her house and sneezing and blah, blah, blah with my allergies. So all of a sudden we're in this competition to who's suffering more. What's the prize for that, right? Who's the greater victim? Breathing here. I mean, really? Why? Hands frame the foot. Hands frame the foot. And the irony, plug the hands in, is that I am so, walk your feet out, come into your dog. I am so grateful that my mother is moving to Atlanta. And the work in the house hasn't been bad. Yeah, it's a lot of work. It's a lot of work. But, we're going through pictures and we're finding family mementos and everything. And, and we're, making the best of it. I'm, kind of coaching my mother along because it's a lot. It's a lot. But it's not bad. Glide forward. But in my competition to be the bigger victim, I start looking for the negatives, pressing the hands into the mat. And my whole energy shifts, right? Breathing here in plank. And think about the irony of that. I'm competing with Dan to be the bigger victim, to be the person who suffers more. Why? Why would we do that? We do it. I do it. What's the benefit to be the one who is, suffering? Shouldn't we be grateful that, I'm not suffering as much as that person? Another breath. And then come on down, Ashtanga Pranam. So, and as I experienced, elbows hug in, hands pressing into the mat, and lift up, and exhale the nose down. One of the things that Anand says, I'm taking a class called The Path to Radical Self-Mastery, and the teacher is Anand Malhotra. He was born and raised in Rishikesh, which is the birthplace of yoga. So we're just inhaling and we're lifting up. We're exhaling and we're coming down. Inhale, lift up, and exhale, come down. And what he talks about is the incredible importance of being consistent. Plug the hands in and the hips come back. And that's what we're going to really talk about more tomorrow, is being so committed. Taking on what he calls radical responsibility for our choices. Because so often we blame, don't we? We make this choice and it's the wrong one, and then we blame. It was, the school was wrong, or the government is what the government does, or wherever we place our blame, but we try to pass along why things didn't work out or why we didn't follow through. And a lack of follow through is a huge way that we give away our power. Step our right foot forward. So instead, what Anand talks about, so our right leg is now forward, our knee is right over our ankle, our hands frame our foot. He talks about how incredibly important it is with our Manipura chakra to really plug into our energy. Really plug into our energy so that we have the energy to follow through, to commit, and to be responsible for what happens. And that might be where you give away your energy. You might blame. Blame others. Blame, it was this. It was bad luck. It was, the universe is out to get me. Breathing here into those hips. And then set those hips back. Toes stay down. And one of the other things that Anand says in this lecture is he says that the universe never does anything to you. Inhale and forward. The universe, everything that happens in your life, the universe is doing for you. And that kind of a shift, right? Set those hips back. And then bring the toes up and breathe into the back of the leg. Ooh, boy, that feels good. So just having that kind of a thing, when something goes wrong, or when, life gets challenging, say, okay, what do I have to learn here? That kind of a paradigm shift is so incredibly powerful because it takes you out of the role of being a victim, right? Inhale forward. Curl the back toes under. Pouring energy down the leg. I can't remember if we twisted or not. Did we twist? That's what happens when I get to talking. I can't remember. Let's twist. If we didn't twist, we'll add it into the other side. I don't think we did on the left. Sorry. We'll work it out. We'll even y'all out. Breathing here. Another breath. And hands frame the foot. And step that left foot back. Coming back into plank. Stacking bone on bone. We did twist. Yay. Thank you. Thank you, Max. Thank you, Christine and Jackie. Everyone was like, yes, twist. Breathe here in our plank. And your choice if you just want to chill in plank, if you can describe this as chilling, or you can add in Kapalabhati. So Kapalabhati, the breath of fire. Remember? So it's a powerful exhale. Draw Manipura chakra in, lighting up the sun in the belly. Oh my gosh, I need to blow my nose. Come on, down onto the knees. Widen the knees, touch the toes, come back into child's pose. For those who don't need to blow the nose like me, I really need to blow my nose. Ay, ay, ay. So just melt down into your child. And again, ask yourself, how do I give away my power? Do I get rooted in blame? Do I really lean into being the victim? And one of the things I started telling you, I got distracted, is that Anand talks about how incredibly important it is to be consistent in the energy we send to the universe, right? So if we're like, oh, I'm going to do this, yes, I'm all for it, yes, yes, yes. And then you hit a bump in the road, oh, I don't know if I have it in me, or oh, the world's against me, or oh, it's like, we're on, we're off, we're on, we're off, we're on, we're off. And that interrupts the flow of our energy. Plug the hands in to the mat, curl the toes, lift the hips. That's again where we need to take radical responsibility for the choice we make, and we need to follow through. We need to follow through. Head hangs heavy, tailbone rises up. And we talked about this last week, I believe. Flip the right leg back and up. Woo! Kicking the ceiling. How cool is that? Breathe. Roll the foot on the ankle. And step forward. Coming into your Vira 1. Patanjali talks about the 4 ways of engaging in relationship. And I think it's important to talk about that here. I'm really under the eaves today. So taking your Matangi mudra, that's when we wrap our fingers and our ring fingers, not our ring fingers, our middle fingers become a steeple. And this is how we channel energy down those fingers into Manipura Chakra. Breathing here in our Vira 1. Another breath. And then release the hands. Arms float back like wings. And then inhale, lift it up and take Surya, which is when we bring again the ring finger down to the palm, hugging it with the thumb, and take our Warrior 2. So beautiful long line of energy. So Patanjali talks about relationship. Another breath. Straighten that leg and glide into your triangle, Trikonasana. Come on down. And he talks about how we should be friendly towards the joyous, compassionate towards the suffering. We should have reverence for the wise or the elderly. And the last one, this is the really juicy one, get ready for it. We should have indifference toward the wicked. Okay, coming back into your Vira 2. Surya Mudra. Breathe here. And the reason that this is so powerful is this gets to where energetically we're able to even out what we send into the universe. Another breath. And then hands either side of the foot. Come on down. Down dog. Walk your dog out. So whatever it is that, like, in the class when we talked about this last week, I talked about, racial justice. So for those who are doing it wrong, for those who, are mistreating others, you might be like, okay, come on into your plank and Kapalabhati if you wish. So you might feel like, keep on going with Kapalabhati. You might feel like, well, that seems like a cop-out. That seems like I'm giving up. If I'm not angry with those people, if I'm not like, that's just wrong. Is that me giving up? Another breath. And then drop that right knee down. Kickstand the foot out. Right hand right underneath the face. And inhale and lift it up. And it's not you giving up. It's not you giving up. Because the important shift, making big circles with that top arm, really breathing, is that what you do is, you know how much we use appreciative inquiry in class, is we look and we say, where are the people who are doing it right? Where are the people whom I would love to be inspired by, whom I would love to emulate? Roll it down. Hands on your shoulders. Float that left leg back and up. Roll the foot on the ankle. Right arm stretches forward. Okay. Breathing. So Ivy says, I dim myself in groups. Okay. It's one of the ways that she gives away her power. And then bring the knee into the chest. Bring the knee into the nose, the elbow in towards the leg, and then we lift up. So what we do is we look for the people who are doing it right, and we take inspiration from them. We say, how can I bring more energy to what they're doing? So you're leaning into making things better in a way that boosts your power, where you're consistently, and that's where it becomes sustainable, right? Because anger, okay, float that leg up, and then bring the hand down, hands underneath the shoulders, and then with the leg still floating up, let's just come on down, dip the nose down, and inhale it up. Dip the nose down, and inhale it up. So, anger is not sustainable. Anger will burn us out if we consistently rely upon anger to be our fuel. And it's not the kind of energy that the universe responds to. Okay? Bring that knee down. Inhale, lift into your cow. And exhale, arch. So instead, to surround yourself by people who inspire you, who have the kind of, we can make the world a better place around whatever it is that lights you up. And have those people be your tribe. And if there's a lot of negativity with those people, I'd invite you to keep looking. If that's what's fueling them is anger, keep looking and find someone else. Because again, being surrounded by that kind of energy is not great for you. Come on up into your down dog. Breathing. And then let's flip the left leg back and up. Stretch it up, reach it up. Oh, that's so cool. Look, I can just follow my foot on the ceiling. That's awesome. I've never done that before. A new life. So rolling the foot on the ankle, if you're not like me, and under the eaves, another breath. And step that left foot forward, coming into your Vira 1. Take your time. And take Matangi Mudra overhead. That's when our middle fingers are our steeple, our other fingers wrap. And we lift up. Hopefully you can lift up a little bit more than I can. I think I've migrated back. I feel like I'm more under the eaves today than I was yesterday. Breathing here. Another breath. And then arms go back like airplane wings. And then inhale. Come on. Up and take Surya Mudra and Warrior 2. So Surya, ring finger down towards the palm. Thumb on top. And breathe here. Right? And feel your power. Feel yourself plugging into positivity. Plugging into this sense of, I can do this. I'm going to follow through. I'm going to make it happen. Because I am powerful. And accepting responsibility. We'll talk more about this tomorrow, but accepting responsibility, saying I'm not going to play the role of the victim anymore. Another breath. Straighten that leg. Triangle pose. Come on down. Breathing here. And this is something that's iterative. This is something that you have to keep paying attention to. I shared with you all a month or so ago, maybe 6 weeks ago. Come on back up into your VR2. And then hands down either side of the foot. And from here, coming down, and we're going to float we had the left leg out, didn't we? Yes, the left knee goes down. Vashisthasana on this side. Took me a second. Left hand underneath the face. Side plank, knee down, side plank, and just make big circles with the arms. So we were having dinner on the back deck, and I made dinner. And Cindy, my stepmother, was there, and Dan and Cooper were out on the back deck. I think this was before Burnett had arrived. It was a really nice dinner, beautiful night. And I got up and went into the house and started kind of cleaning up, and I think I started prepping dessert. And I slid back into that kind of like, hey, I made dinner and now I'm inside and I'm cleaning up and getting dessert ready. Just this kind of grumpy space. And I had to stop myself because that's my habitual reaction, right? Roll the hand down. Left knee on the mat. Right leg comes up. And I had to stop myself and said, nobody told you, Laura, get up and go start cleaning up. Come on down. And inhale left. The right leg is up now. Exhale down. And inhale out. So that was my choice. That was my choice to go in and start cleaning up. So, that was me making that decision. So how ironic is it for me to make that decision and then for me to get all grumpy about it? And I think we do that a lot. I know I do it a lot. And we need to stop that. And breathe. And then left arm floats up, right leg floats up, and then we crunch it in. And we extend it. So really breathe into Manipura Chakra. One more. Hands under shoulders, knees under hips. Inhale, lift up the cow. And exhale, arch. And Dan often says this, to me. He says, Laura, you rush around and you do a lot of stuff that enrich our lives, and I appreciate it, but I don't ask you to do those things. And if you do it with a resentful heart, I'd rather you didn't do those things. Right? Knees widen, toes touch. And we've talked about this a lot. Hands come forward, take your Surya Mudra. Ring finger in towards the palm. A lot of us, typically those of us who are female, have been taught that we need to earn love. We need to earn love. We need to be constantly productive, constantly moving, constantly doing. So even when we're not asked, we rush around and we do and we, serve. But we don't serve with an open and loving heart. We often serve with a resentful heart. And then we're angry and we're grumpy about, doing things that our loved ones might not have asked of us. We need to break that cycle. So if that makes any sense to you, just like giving yourself permission to start unraveling those knots, shifting that dynamic, taking responsibility for what you commit to do, knowing that you're committing to do it with a loving heart, a joyful heart, because it's true to you. Another breath. And then come on up. Wow, it's 9:41. What the heck, man? Where did class go? Okay, come on to the back. There was a lot to talk about today. This was juicy. Hug the knees into the chest. Rock it out, roll it out. Roll the feet on the ankles. Roll the head on the neck. Right. And then hug that knee into the chest. Left leg stretches long. And look over the right shoulder. Just keep asking yourself here as we go through this final twisting series. Just asking yourself, how do I give away my power? Shining a light on something is the first step to making a change. Just drawing awareness. And as you, for me, I've obviously drawn awareness onto the fact that I play the victim. And now that I know that, it doesn't mean that I'm going to stop playing the victim like a magic wand has been waved, because there are no magic wands. And I'm 50 years old. So I've had 50 years of habituation of, showing up in the world in this way. But bit by bit, I can do it less and less. And when I notice that I slide back into that space, whatever that might be, if you're, on this path with me, I can say, oh, there it is again. And with compassion, not with impatience, not with anger, not with a resignation of, oh, I guess I'm just too much of a victim to change. Because isn't that ironic? That's the victim mentality feeding the victim mentality. No, 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 no. You just notice and you just, remember, okay, this is self-directed neuroplasticity. I'm rewiring my brain. I'm changing my behavior bit by bit. And even if in the beginning, all you do is notice. All you do is notice that this is the way I give away my power. That is powerful. Even if you keep doing it. Okay, now you know. And you just start asking yourself, how do I, using Ivy's, example, she dims herself when she's, in the company of others, when she's in a group. So she knows that now. Okay, well, how can she shine just a little bit? And she starts to brainstorm about, well, I'm going to do this, or I'm not going to do that anymore. And then she tries it. Maybe in the beginning she just thinks about it. She just thinks about what she'd do. And then she tries it just a little bit. Kaizen, incremental change. Our society, hug those knees in. Our society does us such a disservice because it's it has to be immediate and it has to be big. Go big or go home. I hate that phrase. Soles of the feet on the earth. Windshield wiper those knees back and forth. We live in reality. Okay? Just little bits, little bit by little bit. Kaizen. If when I go into a group I want to shine my light just a little bit, I'll do this. And then you do it. You try it. And see how it feels. Knowing that you're rewiring your brain, you're changing your behavior. There's the power. So if, as we come to the end of practice, if there's one last thing that would feel really good for you, go ahead and do it now. And then allow the feet to fall, letting the whole body. Windshield wiper those knees back and forth. We live in reality. Okay? Just little bits, little bit by little bit. Kaizen. If when I go into a group I want to shine my light just a little bit, I'll do this. And then you do it. You try it. And see how it feels. knowing that you're rewiring your brain, you're changing your behavior bit by bit. There's the power. So if, as we come to the end of practice, if there's one last thing that would feel really good for you, go ahead and do it now. And then allow the feet to flop open. Palms are up. And allow yourself to melt down. Letting the whole body relax and release. Letting everything go soft. Knowing that you don't have to be powerful all the time. It's okay to rest. Continuing just to melt down into the earth. So Rumi talks about, he says, know that one day your pain will become your cure. He goes on to say, these pains you feel are messengers. Listen to them. So these ways that we give away our power, these pains that we experience in the world, remember, the universe does not do anything to you. The universe does things for you. So what do we have to learn? What are the ways that we can set aside our sense of being a victim and realize that the universe has been trying to teach us something? And Rumi goes on to say, be patient where you sit in the dark. The dawn is coming. And that's what this practice is, right? The yoga philosophy. It's the way that we can learn, the way that we can shine the light, the way that we can just, sit here knowing that the dawn is coming. So breathing here into these questions. And then bringing movement into the body, wiggling fingers and toes, stretching the toes open, stretching the fingers open, enlivening the palms, enlivening the soles of the feet. And roll the hands on the wrists, roll the feet on the ankles. And then roll over onto the right side, cradling the heart. And wrap your arms around yourself and give yourself the biggest hug. No matter what you've uncovered today, you are beautiful and wonderful. Just giving yourself compassionate kindness. And saying to yourself, you don't have to play that role anymore. You can set that down. Another breath. And then gently pressing yourself up to an easy seat. Bringing the hands to the heart space. And let's take a nice big inhale together as we om out.
Yay.